Okay, so we have a new witch-related film out called King Knight. To be honest with you, I have no clue why it's called that. I obviously, maybe it's to do with the tarot cards, but yeah, I have no clue why it's called King Knight. I may have missed something. I don't even know, man. I don't know. Right? It is written and directed by Richard Bates Jr. You know, it is produced by Bates Jr., Robert Hing Higginbotham, and Colin Tanner. It is executive produced by Britt DeLilio, Lee Poindexter, and Shane Chef, and it is associate produced by Angela Sarafan, J. Gary Goober, and Josh Fadum. Okay, music is handled by Steve Damstra II. Cinematography is Shanheem Seth again. Britt DeLelio edits the film. Casting was by Bates Jr. Lee Poindexter handles production design. Art direction is Cassie Lopez. Set decoration was Grace Sorrow. Costume design is Adriana Lambari and Anthony Tran. Makeup, tattoos, that was Erin Blinn, Cassandra Byers, and Matt Diamond. And our cast. Well, we have Thorn, who's played by Matthew Gray Gubler. We have his life partner, Willow, played by Angela Sarafan. We've got Percival, played by Andy Milanakis. Then there's Rowena, played by Kate Kuma. Neptune, played by Josh Fadam. Desmond, played by Johnny Pemberton. Angus, played by Nelson Franklin. Echo, played by Emily Chang. There's Grant, played by Ronnie Jean Blevins. Alexandra is played by Sawati Kapila. Nicholas, played by Shane Brady. There are our main look. Oh, Merlin, played by Ray Wise. I think that I kind of feel that that's the main lot of people. And the gist of the film is this: Fawn and Willow appear to have it all as the revered high priest and priestess of a coven of New Age witches. But a secret from Fawn's past throws their lives into turmoil and sends them on a trippy, hilarious journey. So, I didn't really know what to expect with this, right? The UK poster is like, these people wearing white linen in stupid poses. So you think, okay, so is this not taking itself seriously? Right? It's all a little tongue in cheek and all of that. But I think the film open, we see them dancing around, doing rituals and things like that, right? Now, it's definitely, it's like what we did in the shadows, right? It is trying to do that. Right? Be like, look, we're being crazy, we're being silly, look at us. But I think the thing with this is it just feels a little bit forced. You know what I mean? Like I think you could definitely tell this story, and it could definitely work. But I just think that a lot of this was like there is a scene when they're talking about is it Julie? I think it's Julian Binoche. Ju- oh, is it Juliana Binoche? Julian Binoche. So I mean, the Binoche, right? The French actress, and they're talking about her, and like, oh, someone's like, oh, well, everyone's got poo in their bum. And it's just like, oh, Binoche has got poo in her bum? Not her. Oh, I can't believe. And it was just like, okay, can we stop? Right? It was just, because it's just like, oh, let's say poo in a bum, right? That's kind of crazy. That's silly. And it's just like, if we repeat it multiple times, then, everyone's going to be laughing their heads off. And it was just like, oh, just a little bit too much, right? Because I think this kind of thing it works with comedic timing, and the timing just isn't there on a lot of these wannabe jokes. You know, I say that though, right? And that this just might be me. You know what I mean? I think other people could be just on the floor, be like, "Oh my gosh, this is hilarious! I don't think they talked about poo in the bum." You know what I mean? Hey, I'm sure there's people that love that scene. I did not. Right. Just and then just a lot of the other stuff. Right. You had I don't know all these weird guys dating these hot chicks. Right. And it was a bit like ah. You're just thinking, all right, why are these chicks dating these dudes? And then just yeah, it's it's definitely odd. I definitely thought it was odd. We have some weird kind of effects with the camera as well, right? Because everyone looks a little bit sunken, right? It's these weird effects that have been utilized. And yeah, a lot of times the guys look real sunken. Like the girls don't. You know what I mean? They all look fine, but the guys, yeah, I don't know if it's with makeup or the side, but yeah, their faces just look crazy sunken. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. Right? I will point out there's a scene in the toilets. Thorn doesn't wash his hands. Doesn't wash his hands. He goes straight to combing his hair. And you're just like, I mean, we so he's not using gel, right? He decided to use something else. I mean, what's happening here? He was yeah, that's interesting, right? Now, all of this, right, it's leading up to this big thing at the very end, and I kind of felt that it should have ended like Little Miss Sunshine, right? Oh my, how great was Little Miss Sunshine? Just that whole build up. She's going to do a dance. It's a dancing competition. We think she can win. And then when we see it, you're just like, oh shit. Oh my gosh, it was so great, right? And you kind of thought, oh, this needed that. You know what I mean? This needed that. But it just doesn't really deliver. Like there's a choice of them doing this thing at the very end, and you're just like, wait, what? Out in, I just don't buy it, right? It doesn't make any, because you're just thinking they could have gone to a back room. Like there's so many different things, like why there and then? It's not explained, right? So you're just like, I don't buy that these characters are going to do that. Just don't buy it. Also, people walk into a room with a sword. You're telling me that the people there aren't just going to be running? Like, there's a crazy person with a sword? Because they ain't seen this dude for a long time. So you just be like, what? No one does. And you're just like, yeah, this is peculiar. This is peculiar. Yeah, it is. Dude goes on a hike. Well, a hike? Would you call it a hike? Let's just say a hike, right? No dirt on the clothes. You know what I mean? No dirt on him. No sweat. No, you know what I mean? No look of fatigue. It's just like, wait, what do we? There's clearly the way it's shot. You're kind of like, he must have been out here for at least a few days. At least a few days. So you're in the way it's all depicted, just like, what? What is going on? Huh? This makes no sense. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's this whole coven thing, and we don't really get a sense of what they do in this coven, like why they're all together. Right? There's just kind of there's stuff that I think if we'd known, it could have really helped flesh this film out. You know, for me anyway. That's kind of how I'm kind of thinking about it. You know what I mean? Like it could have been more. I was hoping for more, and we just don't really get that follow through. Don't really get that follow through. It's a hell of a shame. Hell of a shame. But there you go. Now you kind of feel that they wanna set it up for a part two. You know what I mean? Like, you feel that's how they're setting the end, but it's still not. It just didn't feel compelling enough. You know what I mean? I don't know. I may be too harsh here. Maybe I'm being too harsh. But people, you can find out for yourselves, right? Film is now out, right? You can pick it up on all your favorite VODs. You know, so yeah, if you want some witch coven action, coven action, Night King Knight, yeah, that could be for you. So a lot of the story that is very predictable. You know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen. And what I say, there's a bit when someone's like, "Oh, I'm making this confession," but you're like, "Okay, if you're making that confession, then what blow?" You know what I mean? Like, it's just you would have someone be like, this is the case. Now you might think, why did I? Well, it's simple because we don't get that. Don't get that. I have no clue why. Right? Sometimes you might get too close to a project. So maybe Bates Jr. Remember he directed and he wrote. So maybe it's just like it could have done with a little separation. Someone else maybe looking at the text and being like, you know what, let's take that out and we can add that. Maybe. But people, it's on VOD right now. So if you feel you want some King Knight action, then yeah, you've got choices. You have got